Good morning. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. And we're having coffee, and I'm having it in my beautiful mountain mug. And I'm asking for your prayers, your good intentions, your healing energy to our mountains not far from here. Couple of huge fires again uh, have grown quite a bit over the last week, and it's heartbreaking in so many ways. So I ask for your good intentions towards the quelling of the fires so that they can be put out. So, good morning. How are you? It's been an interesting week. It's been a very energetically impactful week, and many of us are spinning in different ways and um, physically at ill at ease. So many different things, but it is the thing that's going on with the energy of that full moon and the solar flares coming in and the changes spiritually in the world that have to happen, the breakdown before the buildup. There's a lot of reactionism. People are not reacting out of kindness because they're in fear. And fear happens when we're kind of askew, when we don't know who to trust. We don't know what is true, especially these days coming across the internet with the AI stuff. In many cases, I'm not going to say all of them because I don't know for sure, but in many cases, in my opinion, it's pretty easy to tell the AI voice, the AI information. And I've seen a few things come across. It was like, that's totally wrong. And what people are trying to do is just to get you to watch that video long enough that they get credit for it. So they'll put these sensational headlines or headlines that don't make any sense or be bringing through false and misleading information under another title so that you will spend time watching their videos. So there's a lot of deception. Julia, you're on this morning. My goodness, good morning. She usually messages me and goes, I missed you live, or I just barely missed you, or well, welcome. It's nice to see you here live. And so I honestly, I got up a little bit later this morning, and so really wasn't paying attention to the time, and there's something I have been journeying with that hasn't been real easy. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to ask the guides about this. And then when I pulled the card, it was like, oh, okay. And then I looked up at the time and went, oh, this isn't just for me. This is a God. I mean, because it always pertains, but it wasn't real specific about what I was asking about. So let's get into the reading and see what kind of guidance is available for us. The card that came up for the overall reading is from the Alana Fairchild Kali Oracle cards. Beautiful cards. Anahata Kali. And Anahata is the heart space. And this is that heart swelling space, the love. This is where you feel all that. That's the heart chakra here. For some, it's even bigger because we live in our heart and we know the power that love has in the world and what we need as a huge offering to the world in society. So I'm going to just read you the last part. Soon you'll have the wisdom and courage to accomplish something very important for your soul journey. Trust in the invisible workings of divine love. Let your heart be at peace. Because where love dwells, fear cannot be. Dysfunction, dis-ease cannot be. That doesn't mean that you won't journey with some disease processes, but the true word dis-ease. We can be at peace in the midst of disease, in the midst of chaos. And that's what we want to hold. We want to cultivate. We want to bring into our own realm because we are being called in many, many places to listen to our intuition. The second card that came up is from the Gaia, Dreams of Gaia Tarot. And this is the Seven of Fire. And this is about your intuition, your knowingness, your connection to Creator, the universe, the guides, the angels. This is you learning to trust you and what you receive. And that is often easier said than done. We are not taught or socialized to trust our gut. And I put my hand here because this is where I know I have that knowing is in my heart space. Some people have it in their gut. In human design, my guide, I can't exactly remember, is my sacral area, the creative area. Where I feel things is in my heart space. And so, trusting and really growing that heart space, knowing, growing the trust you have in your intuition. And that's one of the reasons I teach muscle testing, self muscle testing, and tell people play with it, work with it, practice it. Just like intuition, just like the muscles in your body, the more you work with them, the stronger they get. And so it really is about you really intending for your heart space, your intuition, your knowing to be forefront in what you do on a regular basis. That mantra, I'm open, I'm willing, I'm ready, guide me, is hugely impactful in this process. That is you acknowledging, even if you don't know their names, you don't know what their characteristics are, you have guides, angels, companions walking with you who need to be invited in order for them to work with you. And that isn't then they have this answer show up written in front of you right on, a piece of paper most of the time. Sometimes it can happen like that. Most of the time, it is a little more subtle. They tap you on the shoulder and they advise you to look up, to see what it is that is there for you and how you can walk further with it. So you want to be open, willing, and ready to God, Creator, the universe, your guides, your angels, companions, and be specific. I've had a couple people ask me over time. One was not too long ago. Aren't you worried about being so open to everything? It's like, well, I'm not talking to everything. I'm talking to God. I'm talking to my angels. I'm talking to my companions. I'm not giving open permission to anything else to come in. That is, something to remember, that we are energetic, spiritual beings, and we are the ones that direct our energy. This isn't something somebody else does for us, nor is it what God does, the universe, but they will assist us in seeing what is there for us and how we can move forward in that next best step. This is the ownership of you as a powerful, energetic being who can do the work themselves to expand more into this world of ease, of comfort, of joy, of direction, of awareness, of knowingness. And the knowingness is what's going to be vital in this next several months. It's getting rockier and rockier. The world is going to be in upheaval physically. Mother Earth, Gaia, is going to be producing some pretty big shifts. Societally, we are going through some big shifts. We in the US are going to have some elections, or maybe some astrologers think there may not even be an election. How that looks for me is not something I want to dwell on, but something I will be ready to work with if and when that happens. So the next card that came up is Take Your Place. And again, this is owning your truth, owning your worth, owning your ability to be in your power and be working on behalf of those who don't know how to be in their power. There are many that did not come into this world to do what the light workers, which all of you are, came to do. And so what is your path? What did you come to do? I'm open, I'm willing, I'm ready. Guide me. I choose to be used. I made that commitment to God. Of course, I was baptized 3 times before that. And those were genuine. It's just that God and I were meant to work in a different way than religion works with God. And I walked away at 24 with the agreement with God. I want to be used by you in life. I trust you're going to open the doors you want me to go through, and you're going to shut the ones you don't. That is how you and I work together. It is not for me to make anybody else believe like I do or walk the way I do. I now have the ability, the desire, and the vehicle through which I get to help other people open up to their power, their truth, their divinity in this world, so that their light is shining brighter. They are more effective in what they came to do, even if they don't have a definite pin down of exactly what that is. I have been working in depth for the last 13 years, even though I had a very strong spiritual foundation. I didn't spend a lot of time talking to God for many years. I thanked God for everything I had, because that has always been a truth for me. I am Pollyanna embodied, and Pollyanna is powerful AF. And I was always grateful for what I had, but I didn't feel like I was walking in a box, and the truth was in the box that I had created. So I didn't really know where I was at in the scheme of the universe. I knew the connection. I knew that there was something greater than me. And so that's all I practiced. And then when I got into nursing school, things began to shift. But it wasn't until I started my own business that I really tapped into the creator's energy, the spirit, and had a constant conversation going, because I was afraid, because business has never been my strong suit. And here I go, I start my own business. I don't know anything about business, and it's nothing like it is today. I didn't know what my path was, but I kept following the next step. And I knew I had the gift of wisdom. I knew I had leadership qualities. I knew I had the ability to communicate effectively with people. And so I just kept taking the next best step. And that's really what you want to do. And that is how you take your place, by taking the next best step that appears in front of you. Trying to see the end point really is futile, because there's so much we wanted to learn between now and then. We can't learn it from jumping from here to there. There is this whole sea of opportunities to learn and grow and become and understand more as we journey this lifetime. So the next best step, when I do readings for people, that is always what we ask for. What is my next best step in whatever situation they are in? And the next card that came up said, awaken. Awaken to the truth of who you are, your powerful AFness, because you are equally as powerful. And the more we stand in our power, the brighter the light that's within us shines. You know, the little Sunday school song, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. That's exactly what we want to do. And the more we stay connected with Creator and be willing to follow the leads that we get, the signs. I laugh because I feel like, I'm a smartass. And I love smartass stuff, the wit, the fun. And I kid you not, every time I've asked God for a sign, which is not very often. I don't often, I feel sometimes that's a game, but the couple of times recently, meaning the last year, that I asked God for a sign, it was because I was prompted to know something about myself. And it's like, yeah, well, God, I am willing to know that about myself. But if I'm all that powerful, then let me have this vision, give me a sign. And I would get a vision about what the sign could be. One time it was a jackrabbit. The next time it was hundreds of little fishes where we had seen none for the 2 days previous in this river, having hundreds of little fishes come up and, just be in front of me. Here's what I got. On my way home from that mountain climb that I was doing, where I said, "Show me a jackrabbit, show me that." And again, both times it was about my power. And I didn't see a jackrabbit. On my way home down the street that I live on, that I travel all the time, what do I see under someone's cart in their yard? This huge domestic black and white bunny. Never seen one before there. And it was like, oh, funny God. Yeah, you're really funny. And I mean, my God is funny. My God is a smart ass with me. The second time, hundreds of little fishes, where we'd seen none for 2 days because the area we were camping was very fished out. We hadn't seen a minnow, nothing in the evening, nothing hitting the surface to get bugs. And I'm standing there in the water, and out of the corner of my eye comes this huge trout. I mean, she was probably 2 feet long, just lazily swimming in front of me. And if I could have, seen her closer, she was probably sticking out her tongue. And God was laughing. It was like, you got the sign. You just need to accept it. And both of them had to do with the amount of power I have. And another sign that I didn't heed was, I have a lovely friend who is incredibly, she's probably more angel than human and has a lot of physical issues. And the 3 times I've tried to work on her, and she, with her permission, she's just gone, ooh, this is too much. And even that, the last time I did, it was like, wow, what I am bringing through is very powerful. So I need to heed that. So awaken to the truth of who you are. Open, willing, and ready to be shown that, even if it's in a smart ass way. The next card that came up said roar. This is you being willing to stand out, stand up, be seen for who you really are. Scream out the truth of your existence here. And this one says howl with fierceness. Beautiful card. Let me see if I can. I mean, that is a very fierce card. This is be fierce in your desire to be the change maker in this world. It's not going to happen overnight. We didn't get into this state overnight. It is going to be what feels like a very slow burn to us. The next few months, probably through January, maybe into February, are going to be rocky as hell. And they're going to be, if we don't stand in the truth and the knowledge that this is what has to happen, and it's going to look pretty horrendous at times. This is what has to happen for the rebuild to come. And howling with fierceness is letting people know that you have a connection with that higher power that they also can tap into. That connection will keep you in peace, in harmony, in love, but it also has to be worked because we are human. It is easy to be thrown into the okay, whoa, that is awful, that is scary, that is unbelievable what's going on. And it is easy to be thrown into that. And so we want to stay connected. We want to stay grounded. Gaia, Mother Earth, is very helpful. She's going to be throwing a lot of stuff at us, not because she is angry, but because it is time for the change to happen. And we have done a lot to her in our ignorance and in our inability to understand our impact in the world. And she is providing us with opportunities to change. And again, they're often very hot opportunities like these fires. Knowing that doesn't mean I want them any less to end. It is heartbreaking for me to see what they do, to know what they're doing to the animals, and of course to people who lose their structures, their homes, everything they have in these fires. It is heartbreaking. And so I will always put my energy towards quelling that swell of pain. For you, it's time to quit whining. It's time to quit not knowing who you are in the universe and be open, willing, and ready to be shown your power, to be shown how you can impact this world. Julia here shared a lovely story with me about a happening on the river that she has a place on, and how just serendipitous it was, and what she was able to do in just this very small inkling and meeting in the moment. And those are gold. Those are the things. It is those little things. And when they happen and you get to have that meeting of people and that connection that may be just very fleeting, tap into that energy of the wondrousness. And remember, stay curious in the world, curious about how things work and what the next thing means. When you're curious, you will be given the answers and given signs and shown your way. Julia says this smartass got knocked down this month. I feel like the universe is throwing dodgeballs at me. The surprising thing is I've caught the ball every time. You know, that is this month. Oh my gosh, this full moon going into it was hugely impactful. We are still being impacted by that super moon. And most of the time, what happens is shadows come up. And it is those old belief systems that we are being given access to for our understanding of what is still present within us. And it is that point where we can then choose to release that layer of that thing. Everything didn't, especially the big things, did not go in. One of the biggest energies that I moved into this world with was shame, toxic shame. I mean, awful, awful, weighty shame. And this full moon allowed me to see another layer of that coming up. And it's just like, you want to just go, okay, I'm done. I am so done with this. I just want to give up. I don't want to play anymore. But the truth is we can't. So it's better to go into, okay, what is here for me to learn? And truthfully, for me this time, it was that, oh, here is another layer to be released. This is still working in your system, my lovely child, Victoria. So I'm bringing it to you so you can understand that. And even though I can't say I love these times, now I know they are times of learning and that which I get to release another layer of, so that I can be more of an observer in my life. And last weekend, that is exactly what I did. It was lovely because the weekend for me, within me, had potential to be very painful. And I knew that before I went in. And again, it had nothing to do with anyone else. It had only to do with my perception of the happenings of that weekend. And so I was given the opportunity to go as an observer, fully enjoy it, but not step into the quagmire that was possible, because I stood up above it and observed how I was walking through it and what was going on. Then when I got home Sunday night, it was like, boom, that energy of shame hit me. And it was like, okay. Well, thank you very much, Mickey. I think it's Milky, I guess. Milky Haji, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. And so then I went to work. It was like, okay, what is here for me? And then I chose to release that layer of shame. I wrote it down. And the reactions I had to that shame were all in powerlessness. And so I wrote all of those down and burned them on the full moon with the intention that those are released. So it is time for us to stand in our light, in our power. And thank you so much for all of you who support me. If you are watching on YouTube, like Milky just reminded me, please like and subscribe to my channel. Share this video if you can think of anyone who can utilize this, who might benefit from it. It is our time to wake up into this world. It is our time to do our part. And we want to be in the fullest power that we have. And that means releasing at times those things that could pull us out of our power and allow them to go and be replaced with whatever energies we desire. So I do that often as well with Archangel Michael by cutting cords to those things that are causing me angst. Um, Yay! I'm glad, Julia. Boy, a lot of people have come down with COVID again. And in my small circle, there have been uh, the COVID occurrences, I guess, for lack of a better word. So I'm glad you're getting better. I am so grateful that have steered clear from it. I had it once in 2021 in January, and I'm holding the intention that that was the only time. So uh, hold your intention for what you desire for the world, what you desire for yourself. Open, willing, and ready to understand your path, and the guidance that is available for you. That is allowing the angels, guides, companions to come in and help you walk in this very tumultuous world right now. And it also helps us to stay out of reaction and move more in responsiveness, which doesn't fuel more reactivity. And that's where we want to be. We are the light workers. We are the light holders. We are the peacekeepers. We are the love dwellers. And those are wonderful ways to walk through a world in chaos. I believe we are complete. This was a little bit longer than I usually do. I appreciate your time and attention here. Thank you again so much for journeying this part of my life with me. Thank you so much. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. Until we meet again.